Hi, I'm Jared Hatfield.
And I'm Travis Cook.
And this is Tablet Tips.
Today we're going to be covering a few applications that you just got on your tablet and you want to try out some stuff.
And why not free applications? There's plenty out there.
Free as in not paid
Internet.
For. Free as in internet.
Free as in internet.
We'll leave net neutrality debates for another episode.
So, first here, let's get the basics. Who uses Internet Explorer anymore? If you're in college...
I do!
I do too, at work. But everybody uses Firefox nowadays, and it's just a good browser. If you've never heard of it, get Firefox.com.
Now, some purists will say, Internet Explorer for the win, but with the...
Those are purists?
With the memory leaks getting fixed in Firefox...
Firefox 3. Firefox 3.
We highly recommend it. Chances are you already know about Firefox. If you don't, Mozilla Foundation, get Firefox.com.
Very
Just
cool.
read about it. Okay, so now we're not going to be covering fun stuff, so to speak, because we already did an episode about that.
Yeah.
We want to cover some things that you're actually going to be using in class that you probably won't get told about this thing. First, you got to realize you'll be using this tablet to do a lot of your documentation. A lot of things you write, a lot of things you review. You'll want to put your documents in PDF format.
You're going to be using Maple. You're going to be using PowerPoint. You're going to be using Excel. You're going to be using Word. You're going to be using all these things. And there's a lot of different file formats out there. And if you want to send something to a professor and you want to make sure they can open it, sending it in PDF form, they can open it.
It's a standard for most business and educational documents. Now, if you have Adobe CS3, you should probably disregard this because they have a PDF printer built in. But if you don't...
If you're not rich and have CS3, there's free software out there. My personal favorite is Bullzip.
Bullzip.
It's pretty easy software. It adds a printer, so any software that can print, like when I check out on an internet website and it says save this receipt. Well, I don't actually physically print it out. I print it to a PDF using Bullzip. There's no ads, really small, really good. There's other free PDF softwares, but this is my favorite. I've experimented with a few, and this one's just nice and small.
A lot of them are very bulky, very ad-driven.
Ads, yes. You want to avoid the ones with ads. Some will put the ad on the document. You don't want to give that to a professor. Some will just pop up hideous ads.
So we definitely suggest this. Now, if you don't know what a PDF is, take our word for it, install it, and later on down the road when you need it, you'll have it ready. It doesn't take up any space or anything, just install it.
It's nice and small.
Now, another file format that some computers can't handle directly are .rar files, or some
RARs,
ZIP
zips,
files.
tars, tarballs,
All kinds of
ISOs.
stuff.
Yeah.
And what this is a way to compress files.
Hopefully we
So,
confused you.
we can take a 20 megabyte file, you can take me, and fit me down to the size of Jared.
Tiny little thing. Now, there are lots of different random file formats out there, and the one solution I found to handle all of them brilliantly is called Owlzip.
Owlzip. Now, there are a ton of different applications to do this. Personal preference if you'd like, but if you don't have a clue what we're talking about, go to this URL, download Owlzip, install it, have it ready because you will need it someday.
Funny story. I upgraded my brother's computer to Vista, and when I did it, I installed Owlzip. I came back after a while, and guess what he said his favorite feature was? A Vista. Owlzip. He thought it was a Vista. It's that good.
Just install it, and you'll have it when you need it.
Next on our list
is another file format. If you can't tell, there's a little thing growing here. It's called VLC Player.
Now, video files. The Stug podcast. You want to watch it. Nobody uses Windows Media Player.
And if you have it...
It's okay.
If you're someone like Jared... People use it. Anyway, if you're someone like Jared...
People use it because they don't have VLC.
If you're someone like Jared who has a DVD drive on his computer, not all software can grab a DVD out of your drive. VLC Player can.
And there's just lots of file formats.
A bazillion.
H.264, DivX, Xvid, they're all kinds of file formats. Yeah, that's probably a bunch of gibberish you don't understand. You don't want to understand it. VLC will play them all.
VLC is simple. It's very bare bones. We recommend installing it, and if you ever have any trouble opening a video file, open it in VLC. You'll be fine.
Excellent piece of software.
Now let's go a little bit to the not-so-free side. Just two pieces of software that we really want to mention. The first is PDF Annotator. Now, you have all these awesome files that you printed off using Bullzip.
Or that your professor publishes files on the Blackboard all the time.
And
really
you
common.
want to draw on top of it without, let's say, sending it to Journal, sending it to OneNote. PDF Annotator is a fairly cheap application. Just gives you the opportunity to write on it, save it, do it all very fluidly.
So this avoids having to have a document, printing it to Journal, writing on top of it, and then printing it back to a PDF file. And by the time you do all that, it looks a little ugly. It's better to do it in one step.
If you're interested, go to this link, check it out. You'll hopefully be surprised. Now, this is a fun one for the artsies out there. Alia Sketchbook.
The artsies, we're engineers.
Alia Sketchbook is my favorite doodling application because it's just so full-featured. I don't really know the cost of this. It's been so long since I got it. I've just had upgrades for a while. I recommend it if you want something to doodle around with. Nowadays, other free programs do the same thing, so shop around. But if you're a serious artist,
you have a tablet, and one of the main uses of tablet PCs, outside of engineering, of course, is actually for art.
Yeah.
So they're used in a lot of applications for art, and there are some pretty interesting, pressure sensitive. If you didn't know your screen is pressure sensitive, you actually.
Any website mock-up I do on Alia Sketchbook, just draw it out, and it's fine. Now, another somewhat off-the-wall thing, and this is something not everyone will love, but I just want to share it for the enthusiast. It's a product from Microsoft Research called Inksane. Inkseine.
Yeah, it's cool. I will admit that.
It's really cool.
I can't bring myself to use it.
But it's in beta. It's a release candidate. It's testing some cool tablet stuff. Go to the Microsoft Research page. Check it out. We'll have a link in our show notes. It's a pretty long link, if I remember.
Yeah.
Just look at it, download it, play with it. It's probably not ready for day-to-day use, but
you have your tablet. School doesn't start for a while. Just goof off with it. Now, when you actually get down to business, use OneNote.
You'll be using OneNote.
You'll be using OneNote kicks the pants off of anything right now.
Just if
cool. Yeah, 3 years from now, maybe though.
If you're tablet savvy and you want to get involved with some of the cutting edge research, check out Inksane. I actually use it a lot. I'm very happy with it.
So that's a pretty short list. There's more stuff out there, but that's the free stuff, and then some of it's paid. But there's some good suggestions in there. So get your tablet PC set up, get some software on there, and start.
Install it. You never know when you need it. And
right.
While you're waiting for it to install, there's a wonderful website you can go to.
Well, speedstug.com, of course.
Yes, I forgot the name of it.
And if you have a question, you can share it with us.
It's Stug at speedstug.com.
As always, thanks for watching.
See you next time.